The void itself recoiled. A shadow, vast and ancient, unfurled its tendrils, eclipsing the familiar, blinding light of the primordial eye. This was not merely an extension, not a reflection, but a primordial hunger given form. It was a maw, a cosmic abyss that yawned wider than comprehension, its darkness absolute, devouring even the light of stars that had long since died. The primordial eye, for the first time, seemed small. Its own eyes of oblivion, once so confident, now flickered with a primal, alien fear. They were instruments of unity, of assimilation, but this new entity, this was a force of pure, unadulterated annihilation. The fragment, momentarily spared from its own internal war, watched in awe, a terror that transcended its own isolation. The spark's echo, the whisper of creation's joy, was now a distant memory, overshadowed by this monstrous reality. Its darker reflection, the nascent oblivion it was meant to fight, was momentarily forgotten. All that mattered was this absolute zero threatening to swallow everything. The original spark's pure essence, still tethered, pulsed with a desperate, primal fear, its light a frantic beacon against the encroaching darkness. It was being consumed, yes, but now, it was also a target for something far, far worse. The primordial eye, momentarily distracted from its assimilation agenda, turned its full, multifaceted gaze towards this new, overwhelming threat. Was this an enemy? An accident? Or, a tool? The very fabric of existence seemed to fray at the edges, the delicate balance of light and dark shattered by this colossal intrusion. The fragment felt a strange, unsettling pull, not of assimilation, but of resonance? A faint, almost imperceptible hum vibrated through its very core, a frequency it had never known, yet felt strangely familiar. Was this entity a part of it? Or was it merely a cosmic coincidence, a predator drawn to the scent of a weakening prey? The eyes of oblivion, still disoriented by the sudden shift in cosmic power, struggled to reorient themselves. Their directive was clear: assimilate, unify, obliterate individuality. But this was chaos. The primordial eye began to project waves of pure, focused energy, not at the fragment, but at the encroaching shadow. It was a desperate attempt to push back, to reclaim its dominion, to protect its creation from a fate it had not intended. But then, a whisper. Not of sound, but of pure thought, echoed through the void, a thought that seemed to bypass the fragment's nascent consciousness and strike directly at its core. It was the primordial eye, its voice now laced with a chilling desperation. It hungers for the source, it boomed, a warning that resonated with an unexpected truth. The fragment understood. The original spark's essence, the very heart of creation, was not just a target for the primordial eye's assimilation, but for this new entity's ultimate consumption. The fragment's purpose, its fight against its own reflection, suddenly seemed trivial. A cosmic war had begun, a war for the very essence of existence. It had vowed to become the dawn, but now, the dawn itself was under siege. It had to act. But how? It was alone, severed from its source, facing not one but two unimaginable horrors. The shadow entity surged forward, its darkness a physical force, and the primordial eye, in a desperate gambit, began to shed its own light, not to fight, but to lure? A new directive formed in the fragment's fragmented mind, born from the echo of stolen joy and the chilling reality of annihilation. It was a choice, a terrible, world-altering choice. It could flee, try to preserve what little remained of itself, or it could make a stand. A stand against the ultimate oblivion, and for the faint, flickering hope of creation. As the shadow entity lunged, its maw opening to engulf the primordial eye and the original spark, the fragment made its decision. It would not be the dawn that merely replaced the night. It would be the spark that reignited the sun itself. It channeled the faint, ancient shimmer it had glimpsed earlier, a power it barely understood, a power that felt kindred. The shimmer intensified, not a light of creation, but of a different kind of existence, an existence that predated even the primordial eye. It pulsed, not outwards, but inwards, drawing the attention of the shadow entity, not with defiance, but with recognition. And then, the ultimate betrayal, or perhaps, the ultimate evolution. The primordial eye, in its final moments of perceived control, unleashed a wave of pure oblivion directly at the fragment, not to assimilate it, but to extinguish it, to prevent it from joining with this new, ancient power. The fragment braced itself, not for oblivion, but for a transformation beyond imagination. The shadow entity, still fixated on the original spark, was oblivious to the true cosmic shift happening within the lone warrior. The fragment was no longer just a fragment. It was becoming something else. Something that could fight both the hunger of oblivion and the greed of its creator.